I think the Sunday school has a responsibility to help learning and teaching in the church. And really that means to help people experience the Holy Ghost more often in their own life about how to live the principles of the gospel themselves. And so I keep thinking, if we could help people, more people in the church, more members, read the scriptures every day, if that were happening more often, I wouldn't have to worry too much about improving learning and teaching. I mean, if that were happening, if every member were an individually active, persistent, diligent learner, then teaching would be quite easy. So the real challenge is, how do we help motivate people to do that? And this could be, how do we motivate our children in our own home? How do we motivate those in classes in the church? How do we motivate ourselves? Because if I go out to the church and I say, how often should you read the Book of Mormon? Everyone's going to say, we should read it every day. If I say, how many of you are reading it every day?
Different answer.
Different answer. And so I say, if we could just help more read it every day, then so many of our challenges, I think, would be solved. So how do we, this motivation thing, how do we, and maybe it's through this invitation thing, but...
That's a part of it.
Yeah.
I think, too, in different places at various times, we can talk very honestly about not techniques, but just about the importance of studying the Scriptures. Everybody in the church knows that the Scriptures are vital. But the truth of the matter is, for some people, it's hard to study them.
Right.
They haven't had that experience. They don't know. We don't need to teach them how to do it. They can figure that out. But there's just barriers. Some people don't read very well.
Right.
And so that becomes a challenge. And they go, I'm not reading them. Could I listen to them on audio? There's just all these issues. When I'm with missionaries, I'll ask them, have you ever had an investigator, you gave them a copy of the Book of Mormon, invited them to read, you came back the next time, and they hadn't read anything? They go, oh, yeah. And they're just devastated.
Right.
I said, do you understand why they didn't read it? Well, no, it never occurs to them to ask. But if you ask, so can you help me understand what it was like for you reading the Book of Mormon for the first time? If an investigator says, I don't get all this, and it came to pass, all this Bible-sounding kind of language, that doesn't make sense to me, that's hard to follow. What a glorious answer, because now you know more about where they are and how you could help them. So I think we have in the church a bit of a challenge with people not being willing to say, I need some help. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's what we tell them, but could I get just a little bit of help in learning how to do this?
And finding out what kind of help they need, you know.